The Breakfast Club, we got a special guest. Her is a sitcom, was on earlier this week. Blackish.
Came on last night.
You can't say last night because it's not going to...
Oh, yeah, tomorrow. But this week.
On earlier this week.
That's what I said. Came on this week. Ladies
Blackish.
and gentlemen, Tracee Elliss Ross.
Hi.
Now listen, we can talk about Blackish. We definitely will. But I need closure on Girlfriends, okay? Because I grew up a Girlfriends
That's his
fanatic.
favorite show.
I know.
And I don't know why they just abruptly stopped the show.
Well, it was abrupt in that we didn't get a finale, but that's sort of a regular occurrence for a lot of shows.
Okay.
But that was such a long-running show. It kind of
we went 8 years. You know,
it was the longest running.
176 episodes.
Wow.
The longest running sitcom, right? 8 seasons or something like that?
I actually think you might be right, but I don't know that as a fact, so I don't know.
Was there ever a script that told what happened to Joan? Did Joan get married?
You
Did
asked,
her
girl.
and Tony get cool? What
I
happened?
actually think that there was a script, and I think Tony and Joan came back together because I think we always thought. Did you ever watch Sex and the City?
Yes.
No, I wasn't.
Okay, well, Tony was sort of Joan's Mr. Big.
Okay.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So they did get back together, and I think Joan got married.
Hold on, Tony was Jones, Mr. Big, so y'all was lesbians?
No,
What?
I think that in that sort of that relationship that
They needed each other.
and it like never could quite make it fit the right way.
Right.
But they were like the yin to the yang. Like
no matter how many times they break up, they end up coming back together. They can't really be.
It was
with
a good
anybody
relationship,
else.
I have to say, and with Jill, it was pretty great.
And there was rumors of a Girlfriends movie.
There really were, and we were all game. I don't know what happened with that.
But
now, don't you think it's too long? Now I think it's too long. Really?
I think they can do it now.
The girlfriends might look old.
Charlamagne wants to be one of the girlfriends so bad.
Shut up.
No, but
I never
can
knew
I
why
ask you what you loved about the show?
I think that it gave me an inside look on females. You know what I'm saying? Like how females interact when it's just them together.
Right.
You know?
I don't know. It's really interesting to me.
He's really into this over there.
I think that's key.
Right?
But the thing that I think is so interesting is that all these years later and in reruns, like people are really still connected to the show and responding to it, and it still has such a life, which I think
It's timeless.
which is really cool. I don't think you know that something is timeless while you're doing it.
Right.
But for something to have life like that it still has, that people still want to know what happened. I really would have liked to see Joan get married. I mean, she had some troubles.
Well, now we know it was in the script.
And I never understood why they brought the game back but didn't bring Girlfriends back when the game was a spinoff of Girlfriends.
Well, I think that was from the fans, and the game was a newer show.
Okay.
And the fans really did that, by the way. That was Twitter and Facebook.
Right.
Which is extraordinary to me because that doesn't always happen. And apparently it was a lot of work to get the rights to bring it from wherever it was owned over to BET. So, and it's still running. How long has the game been on the air?
Long time.
It'll be 8 seasons coming up.
Dude.
So nobody's looking at our girlfriends' tweets. We tweet about needing closure all the time.
But do you want to know what's crazy? How about this for a fact? There was no Twitter when Girlfriends was on.
Wow.
There was no social media.
Right.
And maybe, isn't that weird?
Yeah, so.
Maybe if there was social media, we would have had a finale or we would have had a movie or we would have had, but so it was sort of an after effect. And I don't know.
It just ended whack. There wasn't even a final episode.
Okay, Charlamagne.
All right, Charlamagne.
I was
so
really
personal.
into it, but I was like, we
talk
don't have
about
to get
Blackish
off this,
now?
but I actually do like talking about
Let's talk about
Yeah,
Blackish.
Charlamagne, maybe you
Did you
guys
see
can
it? Did
exchange
you watch it?
emails.
Absolutely loved it.
You did?
I did.
We got a seal of approval.
Well, tell the people what Blackish is about if they haven't seen it.
Well, Blackish is a family comedy about a black family. It's one of the things I really think is interesting about the show. We're not a family that happens to be black. We are a black family, but it's about a family dealing with their ish. So although the show is not about being black, within the ish, a lot of cultural identity, race, all those kinds of things come up.
Well, I think the show would benefit you, DJ Envy.
Oh, okay.
Because Envy, his kids are raised. He doesn't want his kids to know that they're black.
Oh, you don't want them to know they're black?
He doesn't. Envy doesn't want black people around them.
This
is fascinating.
That is not true.
It is kind of true.
Do you have kids?
Yes, I do have a 6-year-old daughter.
You have a daughter?
I have 4 children, and I live in an area where there's not too many of us there.
That's
and
what
it
the
just-
show's
and it
about.
just
Exactly.
pretty
That's why I
much
think you
happens.
should
So
watch it.
my friends and my kids are not going to have that many black friends because there's not no black people in my
Yeah,
area.
I think me and Envy's mentality is more like your character Rainbows, and the fact that we're not trying to teach them anything. Like, just let them live,
Just
let them
have-
grow,
just
let
be
them
happy.
be who they're going to be.
We don't care
But
who your
Anthony
friends are. We don't
Anderson
care
on the
who
show,
you date.
honestly,
we don't care who you
Your
play with.
husband, he does want his kids to know that.
He wants to know where they come from, and he wants to. It really is that question, that eternal question that all of us are asking. Like, how do you give your kids more than you had, and yet what is it that's important as a parent for you to pass on to your children? And then at the end of the day, you end up learning from your kids.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, because they're the ones that are living in this different society than what you're living in. I mean, it's kind of a fascinating thing when you talk to young kids and you're like, isn't it extraordinary that we have a black president? And they're like, why do you keep talking about the fact that he's black?
They're like, it's the only president I ever knew.
Why do you sound racist?
But that's what my kids are. My kids don't care if Barack Obama's black. They don't care what he is. He's just a person. And that's what I love. That's what I didn't get as a kid. And when I grew up in Queens, it was, we're black, we stay together. But my kids, they don't care. They play with Tommy. They play with Jimmy. They play with Jennifer, Michelle.
I understand that, but then I have a question. So there is always a point, though, when it's whether you're pulled over driving while black or when a Ferguson situation, these things where there is a moment as a parent that you do want your child to understand the legacy of what we come from and how that does impact the decisions we make and possibly how you need to navigate the reality of the world. And yet, it's our children that are going to start to change the perspective so that hopefully these are not things that we have to deal with, but we're not quite there yet.
Absolutely.
And I think that's really what the show straddles. And although it's a comedy, we really are dealing with those issues.
I like the show because it shows that racism is a learned behavior. Because, like, you know, the kids on the show, they really have no clue about race, but Anthony Anderson's trying to instill it in them. Like,
yeah, but until somebody calls you the N-word one day and you're like, what? I mean, I grew up in a black neighborhood, and then I ended up going to private school in 7th grade where there were barely any black kids. And there was a lot of racism that I had never had to deal with before because I grew up, you know, going to a black school where I didn't know any white people. Then I went to school, and it was all white people, and they were writing the N-word all in the locker room and, you know, sending out racist Valentine's Day cards.
I'm just saying.
I guess you were in school in the 70s too, then. But
I do think
it is very
really,
true.
It's an interesting place, and I think that a show like Blackish allows us to start having these conversations. And a lot of times, race is a hard thing to talk about because everybody has a different experience of it, and it's a hot topic issue because there's some real stuff around it. So to be able to have these conversations, I think, is really important. I think otherwise, a lot of people shy away from the conversations. And so hopefully this is a kind of show that, you know, what do you call it, the water cooler talk?
Right.
Well, you're a biracial woman. Did you have any identity issues growing up?
Tracee, you got to talk in that mic.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm leaning back. I got really comfortable. You know, no. And I don't know if it's just the perspective that my mother raised me with, but being of mixed heritage was really exciting to me as a kid. I felt really excited that when I went over to my dad's house, there was a Christmas tree in the living room and a menorah in the kitchen. I found that it really gave me an opportunity to connect with what was the same about me and somebody else and not what was different. And it just made me comfortable in all environments. Like, I don't always notice if I'm the fly in the buttermilk. And then sometimes something will happen and I will. Or, you know, my real name is Tracee Joy Silverstein. So,
Wow.
Right? Do you think I would have been cast on Girlfriends as Tracee Joy Silverstein?
Absolutely not.
I don't think so.
You probably own Girlfriends, though.
Maybe I should have gone with that name.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, no, so it wasn't that experience for me growing up. And I do like that within the context of this show, with Pop's point of view, the Larry Fishburne character that's very old school, and then Dre that kind of straddles that, and the kids that are completely colorless in the way they see, that Rainbow's kind of right in the middle. Like, it's not, she's not, I like to say she's more colorful. It's not that she's looking for a color blind or a colorless world, that it's actually a world that has all of it. And that's a good thing. That's the beauty of this country, honestly, if we lean into it.
Envy, what would you do if your kids wanted to have a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah?
My kids could do whatever they possibly want.
You sound like a good parent.
I honestly don't care. Whatever make my kids happy, as long as their grades are good, they're respectful to their mother, their brothers and sisters, their grandparents. I don't care.
That's really,
I honestly
that's
don't
the way
care.
I was raised.
You know what I mean? My parents raised me a little tougher, a little harder, but my kids are great. They do well in school. They can have whatever they want.
Growing up, did you have a child celebrity privilege? Because you are Diana Ross.
What does that mean?
Like, just
explain that.
Because you're Diana Ross's daughter, so did people treat you different because you were Diana Ross's child?
I don't know, because it was my own experience, so I don't know what the difference would have been. But I went to a school. Well, I will say this: my mother is a mom first. Woke us up every morning for school. You know what I mean? She never left for longer than a week. So my experience was not this sort of fantasy that maybe one would imagine. I had extraordinary opportunity. I went to really good schools. I lived in a beautiful place and things like that. But I was from a family. You know, we did family things. And when my grandmother came to stay with us and my mom left, my mom was like, when I would call, like, she's telling me to do this. My mom was like, I don't care. It's my mother. You do what she tells you to do. So I don't know that I had such a abnormal childhood, but I also went to a school where all of the other kids had parents of something.
Right.
So it was very normalized and it was taken off of the table. So, you know, like Ralph Lauren's kids, Tom Brokaw's kids, you know, so there was a lot
not
of
like they treated you like, oh, your mom's
nobody cared.
Because like everybody.
Nobody cared. Like it wasn't, we were just kids.
Right.
We were kids fighting the way kids do. We were kids learning the way kids learn. So none of that was really a part of it. I don't know. My mom's an amazing mom. She really is a mom first. And so I am very aware in my adult life that even what I'm doing might not exist if my mom didn't do what she did. You know, there was a way that was paved because of her career and her doing something that did not exist. And yet the normalcy of how I was raised is kind of the balance for that. And I never heard my mom complain.
Really?
Never heard my mom complain. I feel like that's something of our generation. I never heard her say, I'm tired. I never heard her say, not now. My mom used to record at night when we went to sleep and then would wake us up for school. She never left for longer than a week. So she would commute. She would only do gigs. I don't know what you call them. Shows.
Shows or gigs, yeah.
Shows or gigs. She would only do. I say I don't know. Like I've never talked about what she does before. Like this is my first time talking about being her child. She would go do the show after we would have dinner. She would leave. She would fly to go do the show, and then she would come back, and then she would go to sleep and wake us up in the morning for school. I mean, and I never heard her complain. She's 5 kids, that lady.
Wow.
She's crazy cool. It's really kind of amazing. And we all like each other, which is awesome. I talk to my mom a lot of times a day.
Now, did you ever feel the need to conform to one cultural identity over the other?
No, I didn't. I also think that's the way you're raised, don't you think? I think that comes from your parents. I think it's how your parents raise you that kind of gives you the courage to either go the path of being who you want to be or who you think you should be.
Right.
It's not an easy path for anyone, period. Like as you're growing up, like being a teenager is no joke. But no, I didn't really, I mean, I've struggled personally, like you know, what should I be doing? What's
like when you with your hood people, you're like, yo, what's up? But then when you
I'm not really good at the yo, what's up.
you're not the yo. Okay.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I'm not good at the yo, what's up. I'm like, wait, what we do with our hands? Tell me. I want to know.
I seen you rapping on Instagram.
Oh
though.
yeah. I actually think that I've discovered I have a hidden talent.
No flex
Of
zone.
rapping?
Well,
Can we hear something?
No. If you give me the lyrics and I can do it along with a song, I seem to mimic. Like, I mean,
That's karaoke.
No.
karaoke.
Because karaoke can be. Well, can we say it's really good karaoke?
Okay, really good karaoke.
I think
okay.
I've got I might have a career as a really good karaoke
People have been
artist.
enjoying your little covers of No Flex Zone and Pass Me the Hookah.
And
I would
then,
love to hear her do Young Thug.
Oh, and then I pull it apart because you know what I've discovered? I mean, you guys would know more than me. But when you listen to a lot of these songs and you're singing along, you're like, I like that. I like that. I like that. And then you read the lyric. You're like, what does that mean, though? And you read the lyrics. You're reading the lyrics. So you're actually seeing them written out. And you're like,
right.
I still have no idea.
What the hell he's talking about?
24 hours?
Yeah.
Have you read 24 hours, those lyrics?
What is 24
What's
hours?
he talking about? 24
Don't hide
hours.
that.
To the
You should
fly.
be the
24
first to hide
hours.
that.
And he says it a lot.
Right.
And I'm like, well, what's going to happen in the 24 hours? You never said anything else.
Right.
Tell me. And same thing with Pass Me the Hookah. I'm like, what a kind man. He just keeps asking. He doesn't change his tone. And then as I expressed him, he gets so relaxed
Right.
that his mouth stops working.
Yeah.
Hey, Pass Me the Hookah.
When I first heard that song, I didn't know what he was saying. I didn't know what the name of that song was.
I honestly, when I first heard it, was like, did he say Pass Me the Hooker? I don't understand. I was confused.
But
It's hookah, but then I got it. I was like, I got it.
You do know the hood loves you, though, because, like, the hood, and don't take this the wrong way, but
I don't take it the wrong
they
way.
say you got a fat ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the same as my cakes?
Your cakes. There you go. You got them cakes. Yeah, there you go.
Hilarious.
So do you like any of the ass songs, like Back That Ass Up or Nicki Minaj's Anaconda?
You know what I actually really liked about Anaconda, about that video?
Okay.
We have seen guys do that video for years. And those women look gorgeous in that video. And it was a woman sort of taking that over and doing it.
Yeah.
And in that genre of video, I was like, it's a pretty good looking video.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like in that genre, if that's what it is, I'm not saying, there's a point of view about what that does in our culture and the objectification of women and all those kinds of things. But within that pocket, I was like, pretty hot video.
I even started like that for your man or your boo boo.
Oh, did you just try to throw a
Do you
hint
know how to
on there?
twerk is what he's trying to ask you. Do you know how to pop that coochie for a goon, Tracee, is what he's asking.
Wait. I got to say that expression again myself. Do you know how to pop that coochie for a goon?
There you go.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
And somehow you managed to ask her about boo.
I don't even know it. I'm going to have to decode that. I'm not going to answer that. You know why? Because I think mystery is really sexy.
Okay.
I think mystery is really sexy.
That's
I think
just
it's
for him
something
to know.
And it's something for all of you to wonder and hope.
They even on Blackish last night, they wrote it into the script just a little bit. You was like, look at my hair, look at my ass.
That was my improv. That was me.
Oh,
that was
okay.
me.
Okay.
But you know what? This is a really good segue for a topic I'd really like to discuss because you might be able to answer some of these questions. But I troll the internet trying to understand some of the booties and the shape of the booties. I really do. I sometimes I'm just like, but what is that?
A lot of them are fake now. They're not natural.
But see, now I thought that, right?
Absolutely.
But there are some apparatuses and some equipment that ladies wear that I have ordered because I'm like, I need to understand.
You don't need no girdle.
No. When I wore, by the way, it's not okay. Listen to me. Listen. It's a corset. This one, no, I don't need. It doesn't look good, and I work out to do that.
The waist shaper.
But hold on. There is one that's like a pair of panties, but it's like a G-string, but it's a panty, but there's a cutout for the cheeks. Now, I tried that on.
Why did you try to a lady from Texas just now?
I don't know. Listen to me, Charlamagne. Listen to me. Okay. When you put that on, it looked like I had two pieces of ham.
Yeah.
Disconnected from each other.
Okay.
And disconnected from my legs.
This sounds good to him, by the way.
No. It made my butt look like something happened, like a mistake occurred.
You do know you have a big ass, right?
I know that in proportion to my body, it's not small.
Yeah. So it should look like two pieces of ham.
No.
But it's not connected.
No.
It's sticking out.
No, this thing made it. I'm not kidding. It was one of the most. I couldn't stop laughing. I was by myself in my house. By the time I got in it,
so you bought it.
I did. I bought it. But by the time you get in it, you're like, I mean, it's a lot of work to get in it. And then I was like, that looks crazy. My butt looks insane.
Who'd you buy it for?
For me, I wanted to. I
wanted
wanted
to
check
try
it out.
I get it off.
I could. It was really hard.
That's the
really
kind
hard.
of thing. If you're on a date and you are getting naked, and then he sees that,
But
he's
that
going to
would
be like
insane.
horrified.
It would be insane. It would be insane.
Do you take pictures when you wear this type of stuff?
No.
Okay, good.
She's
That on
yeah,
iCloud.
I'm like,
that on iCloud.
I'm like, yes, and they're all on iCloud. Every single one of them. No. But in general, thank you for the compliment. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, was there ever a moment when you were made aware that you were black? Like, like you saw the girl from the Django Unchained recently?
First of all, I've never not known I was black.
Got you. But I'm talking about like a
negative
when the system
moment.
show you a negative moment, yeah. Like racial profiling, pulled over, something, I don't know.
I've had moments where the cab pulls up and pulls away.
Got you.
You know what I mean? Like,
that happens all the time.
All the
Angela Yee
time.
has to get cast from me.
Especially if my hair is out. As they get a little closer, it's, they keep on moving. Don't wear a,
Looks like she's going to Brooklyn.
Yeah, there are moments when, I'm sure, for some reason I can't think of stuff now, but I've also always known I was black. And then, somebody in an interview recently, somebody said, so as a mixed woman, why is it that you identify as a black woman? I said, if I thought I could try being a white woman for a day and say that, I mean, maybe I would. I was like, I don't really know anyone would buy it. I'd be like, no, I'm white. Very tan.
Very tan.
Very tan.
Very tan.
I got a perm.
They call me Chinese, and I'm half Chinese and half black. And for some reason, Charlamagne doesn't think I'm black.
Her last name is Yee.
Yee. Angela Yee.
Her last name is Silverstein.
It's actually not, but I mean it is, but we didn't know that.
No, you didn't know that, Tracee Ross. But I look like a black woman.
Absolutely.
My hair and my ass.
Your edges are nice.
My edges, are they?
Although some white women have asses
so much
now.
As long as you still got them, that's all that matters.
Why would you not have edges?
Have you not? Let me show you a video.
Oh, no, I don't want to see it.
Show you a video.
Don't do it.
Why would you not have edges? Hold on, I posted this on Instagram yesterday. Hold on 1 second. No, this right here is gonna make you pray and thank God that everything is in order.
Okay, well, let me say something though about this.
What are you?
Okay, I see it. You're killing me right now. Take this away. But let me say something, because we all have a part in that.
Right.
Okay, because we have told women that there is a standard of beauty that makes them think they have to do things to themselves that they aren't naturally, to look like something that they aren't naturally, as if who they are is not beautiful.
Word.
And so women have been manipulating their hair, their asses, their breasts, their lips, and all of this for some standard of beauty that is not natural. and as if we're these airbrushed creatures that are just an object for desire. And that is not what women are. Women are way fuller creatures and beings than that. Our sexuality is something that we should own and hold and share as we choose, when we choose, not because it's the way to get love and be loved. And that is a part of that.
Right.
So that was way too deep.
So if you still want that, just
I
love
completely agree with that.
We'll end it like that.
Okay.
Tracee Ross, make sure you check out Blackish. When does it come on, guys?
Every
Wednesday
Wednesday
night,
at
9:30, 8:30 Central, right after Modern Family on ABC.
There you have it. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Thank you.